for the whole time. Kasi gumawa ako na, nagpuyat talaga ako. Tapos 2 hours lang yung sleep ko. Tapos, I don't know, I felt really emotional that time.
All the more if you don't get enough sleep, the more you get emotional. Kaya nga 'di ba, pag madaling araw mas nagiging emotional tayo.
Yeah, kasi you're thinking about a lot of things ka din kasi eh. Nagising nga yung parents ko nun eh. Umiiyak ako. Tapos wag daw ako maingay, magigising daw yung kapitbahay.
Yung feeling na grabe, umiyak na nga ako. Pinagalitan pa ako.
Hi,
That's so
mommy.
cute,
My mom's actually listening right now.
And I'm so sure that they're supportive of you, diba? Especially that you're already graduating.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes,
Alright,
yes.
So the time is malapit na.
Oh, by the
For
way, time check.
graduation
It's
season.
already 10:46 in the morning, and that time check was brought to you by EdTech. Yeah.
And you know what, Tyra? Speaking of
Yeah.
graduation and theses, this is why
Yeah.
people, the students who have worked so hard, need and deserve a summer getaway or a break from
Yes.
all the stress that they've
Yes.
put up for months. Diba?
And it's actually the heat of the summer is actually adds to the stress that we experience.
That's true.
Pero let's put this on a positive note. Let's use this heat as something that's good for us.
Something that will ablaze as well.
Yeah,
do
ablaze.
better.
Yeah,
Wow, ablaze.
Yeah, so what are
to do better in
these
school.
13 reasons why?
Your next getaway should be with your barkada. But
Yes.
before that, of course, we're here to share with you the summer vacation do's and don'ts first. Diba? So, para alam mo before ka mag-summer trip with your barkada, you already know the basics
Yes.
of what and what not
To
to
do.
It may seem like, ay, alam ko na yan. I don't need to hear that kasi I'm sure matik na yan. But there are actually some
You have to be reminded
reminders here that
once in a while.
it's important for you guys. Again, yes, that's right, to be reminded of.
Okay, so what is on the first of our list?
Alright, so first is do contact someone regarding parking space, boat rental, and tent space. It's all fun and spontaneous when the barkada decides to go to a summer trip without prior planning. Diba? We all know na uso sa atin yung biglaan eh. What do you call this? We always say that na
Spontaneous.
natutuloy talaga pag hindi pinagplaplanuhan.
Ah, yeah.
Lagi natin sinasabi.
Totoo yan.
But, of course, planning is also very important.
Yes.
All the more kapag magkakaroon ka ng sleepover or when you're bringing a car with you, it's important na alam nyo na yung parking, if you need a boat, if you need a tent, diba?
Para prepared din kayo. So, what is next?
Number 2, don't wear shoes when going to the beach.
That's a no-no. It's the beach. You have to wear flip-flops, sandals.
It
Where
says
are you
here,
gonna wear shoes?
Unless you want your footwear to get wet and be filled with sand.
Or you can wear coral shoes.
Oh, coral shoes. What's that?
Parang pang beach talaga siya. Pero it's closed din.
Oh, okay. Ah, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yung may butas-butas.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that's comfy and that's good for the beach. Mayroon ako nakikita like posts on social media.
Naka-rubber shoes sa
on
beach?
Instagram. Not rubber shoes, pero heels. So,
What? Sa beach, hindi ba bumababa yung takong?
exactly. So, it's hard. Guys, you don't have to wear heels.
Yeah, you can, don't wear any shoes at all.
Unless it's a photo
Yeah.
shoot. Why not? Okay.
Next on our list.
Do wear comfortable ensemble. Going to the beach is not a personal fashion show. Flip-flops and shorts will do.
Yes.
And of course, next one is don't over selfie. This for every place. It's not only applicable to the beach. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking selfies.
Because you came there to have fun with your barkada and have fun with the experience, not, to take pictures.
Okay, we have to get this clearly. It's okay to take selfies.
Yeah, there's no problem with
As
that.
long as you know na you're still enjoying with your friends and you're still
Yes.
taking the time to be with them and to enjoy the view and not the view from your phone.
Especially parang we are in a generation na super
Techie.
yes. You know, since it's summer and you're without your friends or whomever, take that time to rest and, be laid back with everything.
And another thing is, do be open about new experiences like mountain climbing. It's better to try everything that the
Ooh.
place has to offer than go home and regret that you should have done it.
That's true.
And I think the thing that stops us, well, I don't know, in my own experience, like I don't want to go mountain climbing kasi masakit sa katawan, and then
True.
wounds that you'll be getting along the way from hiking and climbing. Diba, it's hard, pero I think it's a very worthwhile experience. It feels so good siguro.
Yeah.
Siguro, no, kapag matapos mo yun, and then yung pagod, pero sobrang worth it kasi you have the memory of
Tsaka
seeing the
nakaka-fulfill
clouds,
eh.
the skies, the beautiful view of the mountain from atop. It feels so good.
Okay,
And
so...
usong-uso sa atin ngayon, diba, Tyra, yung pag-hike.
yeah. Nag-hike nga kami one time with my family. I don't know. Kasi I'm not an outdoor-ish type of person. Kaya parang, kailan ba ito matatapos? Pero nung pag-akit namin, parang, wow, it's super worth it talaga.
I think that's one of the reasons why people love hiking.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
the feeling when you're finally on top
Yeah.
and you see the beautiful view around you. Lalo na yung sa Mount Ulap. I've been seeing photos
Yeah.
of my sister with her friends, and of course, my other friends na, they take these beautiful photos of the scenery. Ang ganda. We want to experience that as well.
Oh, you
So,
haven't?
I haven't done hiking before.
Maybe this summer with your
I
friends.
should.
Yeah.
I should be doing that. Okay. Taking notes. Another thing is, don't forget to bring sunblock, anti-mosquito lotion, pillows, and blankets. It's good to commune with nature, but sometimes overexposure can be bad for your health.
Yes, that's true.
I think it's a reminder now we all know, but we don't actually do it.
Yeah.
So, it's important. Lalo na for sunblock.
Sobrang init na ngayon,
Is it
guys.
true na kapag sunblock daw, hindi naman talaga siya nakakaiwas ng pagpapaitim. But
Protection
it protects
lang talaga.
your skin.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung
Your
notion na
instances.
kailangan nating matanggal sa ating mga Filipinos. Like, pag
Pag sunblock,
with sunblock,
hindi
ayaw ko
ako.
umitim, kailangan ko mag-sunblock na marami.
It's
Diba?
actually to protect your skin.
And I think tanggalin natin yung stigma, yung notion na, I need to wear sunblock para hindi ako umitim. Kasi hello, it feels good kaya na diba? To love your own skin. And
yeah. Tsaka what's wrong with being dark?
yeah, right? See, beautiful Morena here. And another thing is, Tyra, what was I saying?
Except your skin color.
Yeah, another thing is, basta kailangan importante sa ating mga Filipinos to love our own. You know, I don't know, but I think I should be saying this. I've seen the commercials of ano yung commercial ni Alex? Alex G.
Yung pants ba yun?
Yeah, and then there's this in the commercial. I don't know why we're whispering. There's in the commercial na para she even has this jingle.
Yeah,
Song na parang
Yeah, I saw that.
para hindi iwas itim.
Yeah.
para
Yung
puti.
tatlong babae sila, di ba?
Yung sumasayaw pa siya. I don't
Very
like that.
Eurocentric.
Yeah,
na
it's
ano.
Eurocentric. It promotes
The satisfaction with their own
Yeah.
color.
like it's better to have whiter skin.
Yeah, as long as you're comfortable with your skin color and with yourself, there's nothing wrong.
Exactly. Very well said, Tyra. Moving on
Yes.
to our next reminder. Do be a good neighbor. This is your time to unwind, but you should be considerate to the others who are also trying to relax. Be mindful of your actions
Yeah.
and make sure that you are not too loud.
This is so important, guys. Don't be too loud because you're not the only person in that place or in the planet. So be mindful.
And of course, our last reminder is don't leave your trash everywhere or anywhere. If you have trash that you want to throw away and there's no trash bin or
Mhm.
garbage can that you see anywhere, put it in your pockets.
Yeah.
And wait until you get home to throw it away. So that we could preserve the beauty of the place.
Yes. And remember na nakikigamit lang tayo ng mga lugar-lugar. So,
And there are places that are really very strict. I'm not only
Yeah.
saying na sa mga places na hindi strict, okay lang. No. It's still a no-no.
Everywhere.
Even if you think
applicable siya sa lahat.
that ang daming kalat sa area na to and
Okay
it's not
naman
really
tapon.
it's not really a garbage area or a trash area, pero people have been throwing their trash there. Huwag kayo makikigaya, huwag kayo makikiuso na okay, tapon ko na rin dyan, total
May
makalat
natapon na
naman na
naman.
yan. Diba? It's not a good way to think.
Let's put that ideology aside, you guys. Okay, so moving on. What are we going to talk about
Right.
next?
So now that you have these basic reminders before you get that summer trip for you and your barkada,
Mm-hmm.
here's a question: how do we organize a barkada outing?
How do we? Oh, wait. I'm gonna guess the first one. Magkausapin yung kabarkada.
Pilitin ng barkada na lumabas. I think
Yeah.
that's the number one step before anything else. Make sure na meron kang kasama na na lalabas. Kasi aside sa fact na of course it's fun, actually
Yeah.
it's cheaper, right?
That's true. That's true.
If you're going out with your friends, and if you are someone who's already graduating and you haven't like been to places with your friends, I think it's time that you should plan. You deserve that rest. You deserve that experience na finally wala kang iisipin na projects, na thesis, na assignments, and you're
It's-
there to have fun.
Give that time to yourself, you guys. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, here is the number one tip.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, of course, pick the right destination.
Yes. My friends and I are actually planning to go to Batangas, Laia.
When?
Yeah, I don't know, after we
Sama mo
graduate.
ako. Wow, so random. Sama mo ako. Like, naku, Diyos ko, mag-graduate na yung mga friends ko. And, I'll miss them. And, I want to plan a summer trip for them.
yeah.
diba?
Tapos, here's a pro tip. Another summer destination. Di ba parang you have to plan your summer or your destination first. Look for places din na which offers something that you guys can enjoy talaga. And something na not very not very pricey din. For example, hindi to promotion ha. We are planning then, my friends and I, mag-ano kami, EK.
Oh,
oo.
EK.
Kasi
Yeah.
50% discount kapag graduate ka.
Really?
Yeah,
I
so
think it's, wait, meron bang package deal ang Enchanted Kingdom?
yes, kapag 10 ata kayo, yung pag 10 kayo, pag least, ganon.
Kasi we went to EK for our film shoot. Ay, wait. Oh no, Dana. Your mind is confused. Hindi pala siya EK. Well, anyway. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, so you have to plan or mag-canvas din kayo na magiging super worth it, super affordable para sa friends nyo. Plan your
And I think
destination.
one of the best ways to have fun or to go out with your barkada is to go to amusement parks. Diba? Kasi talagang
true.
marami kayong rides na mapuntahan, especially if you're someone who's a daredevil.
Yeah.
And want to try roller coasters, unlike
Yes.
me.
Unlike
can't
you,
go
why?
Who can't ride those
Oh my gosh.
scary rides.
Someone has to push you.
No. we went once. Ayun, we went once to Ike and I didn't enjoy it because I am so scared of
Oh
the
my God.
of the
You can do it.
of the big rides. Well, ayun. I think at some point I had to face my fears, but not today.
Not today.
Not today. And
Some other time.
yes. And of course, our second tip. Number 1, pick your destination. Number 1, pilitin ang barkada.
Yeah. Number
Number
two.
pick
pick
the
your
right destination. And number 3, set a date. Before you can even start planning your vacation, it's important to have a date when everyone in your barkada is free. So you have to check your friend's schedule, check your schedule, and find out when you're all available.
Yes, kasi if one person is missing, iba yung feeling eh, no?
And of course, the earlier you do this, the more chances you have of having a common time, diba?
Yeah.
Kasi pag late nyo na silang pinlan,
Ang
it's
dami.
harder. And of course, the earlier you plan, the earlier you could get package deals or
Yeah.
cheaper flights
Prices.
or fares, diba?
Yeah, that's true. So next,
Next is, of course, one of the most important things to remember, determine your budget.
oh yeah.
Because one of the great things about traveling with your barkada is that your expenses become smaller compared to going solo or
That's
as
true.
a couple, diba? So you have to agree on how much you and your friends are willing to spend on food, accommodations, and other expenses. You have to take advantage of the early bird promos, diba?
Yes. Especially we're still students. Some of us are still students and we still depend on our parents. So para hindi masyado malaki yung i-ask natin sa kanila. Let's opt for more affordable and cheaper barkada bonding.
And here's a tip for you guys. If you want na pumayag ang parents nyo na pumunta kayo sa mga malalayong lugar, diba? You have to use your own money.
Yes. Use up your savings.
Because if you
a
ask
lot.
money from your parents, mas laki yung chance na hindi ka payagan.
Yeah.
Because of course it can be expensive.
Yes. Kaya ngayon pa lang, you guys have to save up.
And of course, what you could do is, if not the traditional piggy bank, you could use one of your friends' bank accounts and dun kayo mag-ipon.
Ah, yeah,
ng
that's a good idea.
Buong barkada kayo na mag-iipon ng a certain amount para sa inyong lahat. You know, that's a good way to actually prepare yourselves financially if you want that best summer getaway.
Yes. So the next one is
After, of course, you determine your budget, you have to be resourceful. Kailangan lagi kayo mag-apply ng tipid tips. And there's nothing wrong with pagtitipid.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right?
It's actually better sometimes.
So if your destination has a public park, have a picnic there, bring snacks. You can bring as much snacks as you can.
Yes.
Diba? Or if you want to eat out at a restaurant, there are places. You have to check Google first.
Yes.
And diba, do you do that? You have to check the prices and everything. And of course, the last thing that you guys should do rather,
Yes.
is don't stress. Make your planning experience a fun one. And that's it, you guys.
Yes. That's all our tips. That's all we
That's
can.
all you need to think. That's all you
That's
need
all
to
you
think
need to
about.
think about and do.
While you guys are planning. So I hope you find that best, or I hope you guys could plan that best summer trip for you and your barkada.
Yes.
After school days, it's finally time to take a break and to enjoy with your friends.
And of course, the most important thing that you guys have to remember is to drink a lot of water. Drink lots of
So
water.
important to stay hydrated.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
mali
super
sabi ko
important.
kanina, it's stay hydrated, don't be dehydrated.
Yes. Stay hydrated, you guys. Especially this summer, it's super hot outside, and we don't want you guys to, have lack of water. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And it's very, very, very important even if hindi ka lumabas.
That's true.
Drink water.
Okay, so
There you have it,
that's it.
guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us until
especially
11
now
a.m.
that we are back, our comeback.
Our
Wow.
big comeback. If you guys have any topics that you want us to talk about, please tweet to us at our official hashtag for the day, hashtag Tier Tiger Rush. And of course, don't forget to mention us at Tiger Radio UST. You could follow me on Twitter at The Dana Diaries or Tyra
At Mika Gale, that's MICHAGAYLE.
Alright, so that's all for today, you guys. We'll see you again next week. And of
Yes.
course, we'll be having our song break. So if you have song suggestions,
Or
tweet
if
to
you have
us
any
or chat us on
requests.
Mixler. And that's it. Thank you so much for
Yes.
listening. Once again, I am your Tiger Jock, Senny.
And this is Syra. This is the only station where you hear the roar.
UST Tiger Radio.
Max that volume as we bring you the loudest roar ever on radio. UST.
Yeah. Nako, Ma'am Charon. Antig talaga yung puso ko habang nanonood. Grabe. Yes. Yeah. Okay, till our next tawagan. Bye. Hey everyone, you're now watching Yellow Pages with me, Kim Bunyi. Last episode, our hearts fluttered with the sweetness of our guest couple for our Valentine's special. And I'm sure our Themasian couples learned a lot from them. And for today's episode, we've got another interesting topic for you. Holy Week has just recently passed, but it's not yet too late to lift our spirits up with our guest for today, whose inspiring life story was featured in the drama anthology Maalaala Mo Kaya entitled Galon. Our guest for today came from a poor family, but he was able to reach his dreams with the help of nuns of a boys' town and his brothers who saved up 5 pesos in a gallon every day. Prepare your tissues as we have a heart-to-heart talk with our inspiring guest for today. So stay tuned and join us as we try to discover some of your favorite professors outside the 4 corners of the classroom.
Pangarap ng isa, igagapang ng buong pamilya.
Pagtutulong-tulungan namin yung pag-aaral mo. Buhulog kami ng 5 piso araw-araw.
Excited na nga po ako mag-college eh.
Hindi na natin kakayanin.
From being a poor boy who had a big dream to an inspiring professor who loves what he's doing. He currently teaches at the Faculty of Arts and Letters, Faculty of Engineering, and Conservatory of Music. He may be small, but his height will never hinder him in teaching, because for him, teaching is not about height, but mastery and expertise of a subject. His inspiring life story went viral, which eventually led him to get featured in Maalaala Mo Kaya entitled Galon. He is Mr. Wilfredo Valwa.
I'm sure some of you have already watched Professor Wilfredo Valwa's heart-touching and tear-jerking MMK episode. But now let's take a deeper look into our guest's inspiring life story. Please welcome Sir Wilfredo Valwa. Hi, sir.
Hi, thank you. I'm so honored to be here in your Tiger TV Yellow Pages.
Thank you, sir, for being here.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Okay, sir, as we said earlier, your story was featured in the drama anthology MMK. So can you tell us how your story made it to the show?
One, I did not really write a letter to MMK, but I wrote or posted like a thank you message to UST way back in November 3, 2017. That was last year. I was like celebrating my 20th year in UST, and I just thought that I really wanted to thank the Themasian community, the Dominican fathers, and everyone right here in UST who really helped me in becoming who I am today. So I wrote a message, and in the beginning, I wrote a 2-paragraph thank you message, but I said, this is not effective. So what I did, I revised my message, my post, by coming into an idea of why not go back to my journey to UST, way back from my childhood to UST that I am now, an associate professor.
So, sir, can you tell us how did you feel after watching the episode?
Actually, I was really trembling. I was really crying so hard. I was like, I did not watch with my family. My family was in the house, so what I did, I was with my kababayan.
Oh.
I watched in the town plaza after, seeking, a permission from MMK if we could do a public viewing in the town plaza. And I was totally overwhelmed that my simple story, my ordinary self, my ordinary life became so extraordinary. I just felt that it was a divine providence that, this simple Facebook post became a drama anthology that Saturday on January 13th.
Sir, I was able to read your post about your life story and all that, but I'm sure...
That's November 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm sure our Thumashan viewers right now wants to know more about your life story back then. So can you tell us a little about your situation before?
Right. To tell you honestly, I belong to a very, very poor family, and I'm the youngest out of the brood of 12. And there was really no money in the family. My father died when I was only 6 years old. He was murdered. He was right there, in Infanta, Quezon. But of course, that's already, part of my history. And my eldest brother is like lame because of polio or problem. And my other brother is blind. Then our 11th brother had this multiple psychological problem. And my mother was not from Laguna. She hailed from Quezon, and it was so difficult for her. So there was really no money in the table, no money, no food at all. And imagine all my brothers and sisters were like helping each other by means of, I'm sorry to say, that kind of illegal trade called huweteng.
Oh.
Or bet collector. And they would do that, plus, tricycle driving and washing clothes or laundry for the others. And it was really so difficult. So the time came when I used to, play inside the church patio or simbahan patio. And there came, like a divine providence again. I was just playing and nuns came from the Sisters of Mary Boys Town. This is a school for the poorest of the poor, founded by Father Aloysius Schwartz, an American priest who had his mission in Korea after the Korean War. And when he was awarded the Ramon Magsaysay Award in the Philippines, the former Jaime Cardinal Sin invited him to build this missionary or school for boys and girls for the poorest of the poor. And these sisters came, and I was like queuing. I thought there was a ration for food. And so I was like very excited. There might be some Nutribon or some, rice or whatsoever. Until I realized that they were like recruiting students who wanted to study in the Sisters of Mary School. And there I was able to get in. They asked me if I could pray, Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory Be, which I happily did because I was like always in the simbahan. And then after graduation, I went back home to FAMU Laguna, and again, life was very poor. My brother told me that I could not go to college because there was really no money. And I really insisted. I knew myself. I knew my capacity as one who was educated in SOM or the Sisters of Mary School. I knew that I could do more. So I insisted, as you saw it in MMK, I dramatically insisted that I really would like to go to college. And when they said yes, and they said, okay, you can go to a nearby university, and I said, no. My heart was already set to go to the Philippine Normal University, and that's in Manila. And they said, no, we can't send you to Manila. One, we don't have money right here. So what you could do is just help us. But I insisted. eventually my mother, my brothers, and my sisters, like, had a very beautiful discussion, and they said that they would be contributing 5 pesos a day, and they would have to put it in that gallon.
Yes,
And that became my allowance. So finally, they allowed me to go to PNU, and then I would, every weekend I would be, getting all those 5 peso coins, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yes, sir, with that being said, can you tell us how can you describe your childhood and how your experiences helped you to be the person you are today?
I would say that our life was very poor, but I was not sad. I was not a lonely kid. I knew that life was very poor, but seemingly God really provided us with everything, even if it was meager, even if it was little, but I was really very happy. My family, though poor, was a happy family. Those days, even my father was already dead, but my brother loved to tell stories. My sisters, all of us loved to tell stories with each other. And I look forward to going back to Fami every weekend because my brothers and my sisters are always there. My Kang Elo, the eldest brother, would always have a very beautiful and very positive outlook in life. And he would always ask me, how are you doing, etc. And I would never forget that moment that when he gave me this kind of, belt as my birthday gift. And when he saw that, things were not going the right way for my pants, so he offered me as a birthday gift when he was still alive. And then though we were poor, until today, we're helping each other. What I love about my family is the fact that we have this unity. We have the love for each other.
That's what important naman talaga.
Yes, and that's the reason why, though we're poor, but there's so much love in the family, and that I can only, give so much love to my students and to my kababayan. That's what I got, and that's what I give to people.
You give back the love you get.
Exactly, Cam. I have so much love, right?
Okay, so in the eyes of a young Freddie, what is the value of education?
Education was like the be-all and end-all. I knew from the very beginning, when I was like in elementary, that whenever I listened to guest speakers in the graduation or guest speakers right there in the church, or what the parish priest would say, that education is really very important. And then I got the chance to read some books when I was high school in the Sisters of Mary as Freddie. And I realized that education really changes the life of people. It becomes like a ladder out of poverty. And that's what happened to me. Without education, perhaps I would still be like my brothers and my sisters. Of course, without offense meant, but at least with the education that I really valued so much, it had totally changed my life, my family, my kababayan, my scholars, and the people around me.
Sir, okay. Now, sir, can you give an advice to the Themasians who's also having a hard time pursuing their dreams?
I'm always telling my students that they are very lucky. Why? Because they came from a very beautiful family where they have supportive parents, where their parents are really very hardworking. That's why they are here in a beautiful private university. And I'm always telling them that they have to focus themselves in the word student. And the word student comes from the verb study. And therefore, the number one priority in UST is to study. And therefore, they have to maximize their time in studying, reading, collaborating with other people. Don't waste their time. Focus on studying.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure you learned a thing or two from Sir Valois' life story. But we've got more for you when we get back, so stay tuned. Ang galing niya.
Arigato.
Considered as one of the UST's prominent landmarks, the structure was the original entrance to the university in the Intramuras campus. After UST's relocation to its present site, the historic facade was put together with its original structure, facing the main building while its replica faces the Hispania Boulevard. Considering its significance and symbolism, freshmen pass through the arch towards the main building for the traditional rite of passage, which marks the beginning of their lives as Thanasians, while graduating students exit through it for the send-off rites that signify the end of their journey as students. Standing at the heart of the campus is the majestic main building constructed from 1923 to 1927, a masterpiece by engineer friar Father Roque Ruano, OP. This famous landmark is the first modern-day earthquake-resistant structure in the country. From 1927 up to the present, the main building has been the home to various faculties and colleges and administrative offices. It was converted into an internment camp for the prisoners of war during the height of the Second World War. A cross atop the main building symbolizes UST's Catholic identity. Different statues of great men designed by Italian sculptor Francesco Monti ornate its pedestal to signify the university's spiritual and intellectual aspirations. In the center is Tria Ek, a representation of the Christian values of faith, hope, and charity.
And we are back. As you all know, Sir Valois went through a lot of hardships before becoming the professor that he is now. So now let's dig into what kind of professor Sir Valois has become. Okay, hi, Sir, we're back. So as a child, have you always wanted to be a teacher, or do you have a different dream?
As a child, I dreamt to become really a teacher, specifically an English teacher. I would have like this play with my friends that I would, I have this role play that I would be like the teacher, etc. And until high school, I was, amazed by teachers. I just love the idea that these people are able to give so much knowledge and inspiration to a lot of people. And I told myself I also want to become like that.
Yeah. Okay, so now, can you tell us who are the people who helped you finish your education?
Oh, that's really a lot of people. Number one, of course, I believe that it's God who's working in my life, but my family absolutely helped me to finish my education. So in spite and despite of the situation, I really insisted to them, and they did. And in elementary, my teachers were really great, were inspiring me. They knew that I was poor, and sometimes like Ma'am Mirna Acorda or Ma'am Domingo or Ma'am Acorda, they would like give me some food because they knew that I was poor. Ma'am Zombilia, our HE teacher, would always like ask us to like deliver this thing or you know, sell this thing. And I knew that she would feed us with some of the canteen food. And I love it. I mean, that became really my inspiration. I never felt that, you know, education or going to school was a drudgery. So in high school, the Sisters of Mary School, Boys Town and Girls Town really helped me. The nuns, or we call them the mothers or the sisters, really helped us. And of course, Father Aloysius Schwartz, or he's now a venerable. Venerable Aloysius Schwartz. If it were not for them, I would have not finished a beautiful education, and I would not have loved English so much because the language in the Sisters of Mary was English. You know, because American priest, everything was like English, and all my teachers in the Sisters of Mary, and one teacher, my former teacher is here in the senior high school, Dr. Rodrigo Litao. They helped me. My teachers helped me a lot. They would really advise, or these are the things that you're going to read. I had so much, you know, voracious time of reading Nancy Drew when I was high school because of them. And then our English teachers would give us like Leo Tolstoy and Guy de Maupassant and other writers. They really helped me to shape that I am now as a teacher. And then in college, in the Philippine Normal University, one and many professors really shaped our minds to become future pedagogues. And number one, of course, is Dr. Venancio Mendiola, the one who really recommended me, my teacher from the undergrad until graduate school and PhD, and also Dr. Nanette Monte Alegre, Dr. Cecilia, you know, Mendiola, and many other professors. They would always insist to us the beauty and importance of becoming really a professional teacher, and the value of reading. That you don't stop, like after graduation, you don't stop there. You have to go to graduate school, keep on reading, and really try to hone yourself further.
What was your favorite advice that you got from your teachers? Like the most unforgettable one that like fueled you to work harder?
Oh, there was like this teacher who told me, like whenever you're inside the classroom, always treat that moment as if it were your last. So I'm always very passionate in the classroom. I always believe that the classroom is the place that I really wanted to be. And every moment that I'm there, there's no way of waning even a little bit. There's no way to give up, but to be the best that I can be or I could be in the classroom every moment of my life.
That's very inspiring, sir.
Yes, that's what I feel, and that's what I do. And it's translated in the comments of students. That they would say that in our evaluation sheet, I would always constantly read every semester that he's very passionate, he's very inspiring, and is always very dynamic. And I'm very happy that it's translated to that, because that's what I always pray to God every day. The time that I get in, the time that I go out, I always pray to God to make me the best teacher that I can be every day of my life.
So, sir, you kept that mindset until you reached graduate school. Like every time you're in the classroom, you should be the best version of yourself, and you listen and study harder.
Right. In my own capacity, of course. In my own capacity, I always think to always savor and enjoy every moment, seizing the day, as they say, carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Right.
Okay, now sir, let's move on to like my favorite part of your story, because I've read your story. Like, can you tell us the story on how you were hired as a professor here in UST?
Oh, that's also my favorite part in my life, and that's actually the reason why I got here in UST. So number one, way back in 1997, I did not really apply in UST. I was not really applying in UST. All I wanted to do was to go back to my hometown in FAMU Laguna and share what I've got from PNU, and you know, share my knowledge or expertise to my kababayan. But since life was very poor, was very difficult. I thought after graduating college, things would change, no? But, I had several attempts of applying in many other different schools. I had like 6 schools. I was rejected. I applied in a factory in Calamba, Laguna. I was rejected. But though I was rejected, I didn't feel that I was dejected. No? So I just thought that perhaps there could be other ways to be able to help my family. So I applied in a FAMI Applied Computer Technology. That's like a new something like vocational school. In FAMI Laguna, I was like accepted, and then I was like hired only every Monday, and the pay was really very little. And then I decided to also do odd, or shall we say, really queer jobs.
And cemeteries.
Right. My friend was like saying, okay, we're going to help you, but perhaps you can do something for us. Okay, name it, bring it on. And that brought me to the cemetery. I was, I just accepted it. I would be cleaning the cemetery until I decided to, right there in the cemetery, by the way, Kim, I heard in the cemetery that the results of the licensure examination for teachers or LET already came out.
Yeah.
And I said, I was like afraid. That was like my last chance. And, I told my nanay Puring, that I wanted to go to Manila just to check in PRC if I passed. Because during that time, in 1997, it was still published in the newspapers. And my surname is V. Valwa in UST, Valuis in Laguna. And it would take some weeks or months before I see my name. So I told my nana if he could borrow some money from the neighborhood, which he did. I went to Manila, and then I went to a PRC, and I was very ecstatic. I saw my name right there. I passed the LET. It was really life-changing. It was the happiest moment of my life, one of the happiest moments in my life. And since I only had the money of going to Manila, and I needed to go back to FAMI, but I said, no, I can't go back to FAMI because, the way to FAMI is like a long and winding road, as they call it, zigzag road or bitukang manok. And I would be dizzy all the time whenever I go back home to FAMI. So I decided, Kim, to go to PNU. And why not inform my teachers that I finally passed the PRC? So I went back to my former teacher, who was the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Venancio Mendiola, and I told him, sir, I passed. And he was like, happy, but a little bit sarcastic, saying, well, it's expected. It's not a news at all. I was his former, student assistant. And then he told me if I could still do some errands for him. And I said, because I love, PNU professors. I love PNU, and I love Dr. Mendiola so much. And I said, why not, sir? Yes, sir. And then he said, okay, can you deliver a letter? And I said, where? There in UST. Oh, sir. And I was thinking it was just simply a student assistant or a working scholar, errand. And so he handed me a letter, and it was stapled, and then he told me, look for, Dr. Milagros Tanlayco of the Department of Languages in UST. And honestly, Kim, I didn't know UST because all my college life, I was living in Taft Avenue, and I didn't know. I didn't know UST. I knew UST as historical, the oldest university where Pope would visit, etc. And Jose Rizal, our national hero, studied, but not as an academic institution. And so I said, okay, yes. I was sporting a long hair then. I was wearing baggy pants, and during that time with the Wawi de Guzman hair, and so I went to UST, and I had the wrong jeepney. I went somewhere, and I lost myself until I went here at the back door, the Pitan gate. And then there were so many saints, in front of the library, and I made a sign of the cross. I thought there was a big, Baroque church right in front of me, and it's the main building. It wasn't really the church. So then I felt so inferior. I felt so inferior. I really felt, I would never forget that moment. I thought that I was frozen in time. I saw so many cars, so many beautiful buildings, etc. And a lot of, students wearing beautiful uniforms. And I could hear them really speaking good English. And I said, oh, I think I belong in this community. And I asked them if they could tell me where the Department of Languages was. And they told me. And then I was totally overwhelmed with a beautiful main building. And so I found my way to the office of the Department of Languages, to Dr. Tanlaiko, and I handed her the letter, and I told her that I was only asked to deliver a letter. And since there was no cell phone yet that time, and I asked Dr. Tanlaiko if she would ask me to wait for the reply so I could deliver the letter back. And when she was reading the letter, I was totally clueless, Kim. She was reading the letter, and suddenly, she removed her glasses and she put them down, and she was looking at me from head to foot because I was not really the kind of an applicant that you would see. I was a provinciano suddenly trusted or placed right there in the main building, and and then she suddenly blurted it out, asking, "Are you applying for a job?" in her usual high-pitched voice, and I was totally clueless. But you know what, Kim? I felt it was the Holy Spirit who helped on my behalf, and I said, yes, ma'am. I was hesitant, and I said, yes, ma'am. And then she had another question. And then she said, "How could you possibly teach when you're very, very small?" And I said, "I believe, ma'am, that, teaching is not about height. I believe it's all about mastery of the subject matter. It's all about expertise." I will never forget those lines. And then she dialed that, dialer. It was a round dialer before.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
telephones.
Right, and she was like, now I know. She was calling the Faculty of Engineering, and then she asked her staff, Kuya Ronald Manalastas, and until now he's there. And then she said, "Ronald accompanied this little boy in engineering." And then I was totally had a good view of UST, and wow, it's a fantastic university. It's so huge, because relatively PNU is smaller. Okay, and there, as they say, the rest is. But that demonstration was really very interesting because the Faculty of Engineering said that, or the faculty secretary, Ma'am Virginia Zambrano said, "Sorry, the dean is not here. Can you just leave a number and we can just call you back?" And during those times, you remember, telephone numbers.
Yes.
I had this one number that I memorized, that of my classmate, Jason.
Yes.
Also featured.
According to your story.
Right,
sir,
yeah. And I memorized that. And it was, you see that? I'm supposed to go home to FAMI, but I memorized that number. So I gave it to Mom G. And then I just realized that I Kim, to be honest, I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
I didn't have any application letter. I didn't have resume. I didn't have TOR. I didn't have diploma.
Yes.
In all honesty, I didn't have anything. I was sporting a long hair, imagine.
And some loose pants.
Exactly. So I was not really, really prepared for anything. So I just asked Jason if I could stay with him and have, some chat. And I was surprised that night. UST was calling. And they told us to go back the next day, and I didn't have any clothes at all. And Jason lent me all his clothes.
So it was God doing His work for you, because after being rejected from 6 schools and doing work in the cemetery,
right,
you were brought to UST, and then the rest was history.
Yes, absolutely, Kim.
Okay.
I just felt until today, until now, every moment, I feel that God is really working in my life. God is leading me.
Okay, sir. Now that we're here on this topic, let's see what your students have got to say about you as well. Because, sir, with your pure intentions in teaching, especially that you make sure you're always doing things with love, I'm sure your students really do appreciate you as their prof. Kaya naman, let's all watch this.
Wow.
Hi, Sir Valwa. Thank you po sa pagiging professor namin. And alam niyo po ba, dati akala ko di ka talaga nag-Tagalog. Tapos nagulat ako na parang, uy, si Sir Valwa nagtatagalog kasi puro English na lang naririnig ko. Parang kung Pilipino pala si Sir kasi akala ko foreigner.
Hi, Sir Valwa. Thank you for being a very awesome professor even in the past few years. And also, I remember the time when you're one of the first professors I ever have, even at the freshman year. Everything is so awesome, totally awesome. Thanks for everything, Prof.
Sir, thank you po for being fun every time na magle-lesson. So, super na-enjoy namin.
Sir Valwa, fun prof siya na hindi ka mabobore sa class niya. Ang dami mo matututunan habang nag-enjoy ka.
Ayun, sobrang nakakahawa yung energy niya. Yun nga, yung as in pagpasok pa lang talaga sa room, ramdam mo na yung yung energy niya. Ganun. So, tsaka ibang klase siya magturo kasi parang in a fun way. Niya, tinuturo yung mga lessons.
Unforgettable prof si Sir.
Ayun.
Hi sir, unang sa lahat, thank you sa pagiging patient na professor kasi makulit ako sa classroom dati. Pero chill na naman ako ngayon. Tapos, also thank you sa pagiging very knowledgeable kasi may mga teachers ako dati na so na-inspire ako pag nagtuturo ka before, pag nakikinig ako sa classroom. And also, ayun, so good luck in life.
Hi Sir Valwa, sino ba si Sir Valwa? Siya yung di boring na prof, malaki yung patience nga and gustong-gusto niya yung nagde-develop yung student. And ako as a student, kahit medyo petiks ako, masaya yung class niya always. Kahit 4:30 to 6 p.m. pa yung class namin.
Hi sir, si Sir Valwa para sa akin, siya yung favorite English prof ko ever since first year. Tapos nung nag-Japan siya, nawala siya siguro. Tapos bumalik siya sa amin ng third year, sobrang fun ulit ng English class. English, hindi ko favorite yung subject na yan. Pero dahil kay Sir, sobrang thankful ako, naging prof ko siya. Marami ako natutunan and thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for those kind words of my students.
Sir, expected niyo na po ba yung reactions or comments nila about you? Or like, nagulat po kayo sa mga sinabi nila?
Well, of course, it's still different when, it comes from students. It's like, a real, testimony from them and to hear from them. And I'm just so glad that, meaning to say, I'm doing, great job in the classroom.
Everyone was like, you're their favorite English professor and all that.
Oh, thank you so much. And that's what that's what I was telling you a while ago. I want to be the best that I can be every time I'm inside in the classroom.
That's right. Thank you, sir. Don't go anywhere yet because we still have more in store for you, especially this student council election season.
To the left of the main building is the UST Central Seminary, the seat of faith inside the university. This is where the Santissimo Rosario Parish Church, the Father's Residence, and the ecclesiastical faculties are located. The structure was designed by Thamajan engineer-architect Fernando Ocampo and was completed in 1934. Within a stone's throw from the UST Chapel is the UST Grandstand and Open Field. It has become a venue for significant university events, including the historic visits of Pope Paul VI and Blessed John Paul II.
And we're back, and you're still watching Yellow Pages. As you all know, Sir Valois is an associate professor here in UST. But at the same time, he is also a public servant as he is currently serving as the Vice Mayor of FAMI Laguna. Okay, sir, can you tell us how long have you been serving as the Vice Mayor?
I've just been serving like for a year, but I've been serving as a municipal councilor for almost 11 years now. Yes.
So you always have a heart for public service,
yeah,
for helping other people.
Yeah, because of my story,
Yes.
because of the struggles and sacrifices that I've been through, I knew that I could help a lot of people, inspire them, help them, educate them, that life can change. So I'm giving back to people. I'm paying it forward by helping. I have my advocacy of also helping the poorest of the poor through my own scholarship program. I call it the Sir Freddy Valois Scholarship Program right there in FAMI Laguna.
So you focus also on education
Right.
to help other people. Like you said earlier, you give back the love you get from other people.
Right. Not only a scholarship program, but also this review center for other future teachers. I have this Sir
Wow.
Freddy Valois Review Center in FAMI Laguna. So
super
it's
nice.
transforming lives. I'm always
Yes.
thinking of how I can also transform people's lives. So through scholarship program, through the Review Center, plus at the same time reaching out to people and also crafting municipal ordinances, protecting the environment, health, and etc. Almost all the aspects of a community.
So can you tell us more about those advocacies that you have and the things that you do as a public servant?
Yeah, it started first as as a private organization. We have this organization for the young people in my barangay. We call it the Asanians Club. And this Asanians Club would be helping a lot of young people. We're gathering them for like culture and the arts. We have this, mounting stage plays until we also have this very traditional play called the Moro Moro, or the Comedia, as we call it in FAMI. And with the help of many people, the community, and with the young people, we're able to revive and sustain this beautiful traditional stage plays. And at the same time, aside from culture and the arts, I would also be, yes, I said a while ago about education.
Yeah.
I would always think of inviting teachers, or also could give a public service to my community. Like I invited the UST Bahay Basa Eskwela, composed of university English teachers from here, from the Department of English, and they went to my hometown and they delivered beautiful workshop about the importance of reading to a lot of nanays. No? And also the Faculty of Engineering of UST, they already delivered so many books, books for the Barrio program. We've become a recipient of that. And also so many, activities for the people.
Can you tell us the story of when did your calling for public service happen?
It started actually way back in 2004. So practically I was like already helping the people. And like some of my friends were saying, since you've been helping the people, why don't you run in the public office? No, I said, no, I have work. I can't leave UST. I love UST. UST is my absolute love of my life because, it's everything for me, And I said, no, you have to run because you're helping a lot of people and you can do good for the people of FAMI. And, they literally dragged me, dragged me to the town mayor. Our town mayor then was former George Panghilinan, and I came to his party, and eventually with his leadership, I won. And I continued what I was doing when I was not yet, a public servant. I started as a municipal councilor in 2004 to 2007, and then it went on for 3 consecutive terms until 2013. Yeah, so I am always, a team player.
Yeah.
I love to work with people. I love to hear the stories of people and you know, and possibly think of possible, you know, solutions in my own capacity, you know, in my own capacity as a public servant.
Okay. Sir, with that being said, you said that you first you hesitated because you have work. How do you balance public service and your work as a teacher here in UST?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. Most of the time, a lot of people would ask me, not only in UST, but also elsewhere I go. And the thing is, I'm so happy that UST is very understanding about my situation, because UST has this beautiful concept of community service. And this is the real essence of community service. And I asked permission before I ran in the public office, and my dean then allowed me, you know, from the Faculty of Engineering, then also from you know, from the Conservatory of Music, Dr. Raul Sonico, and he said, okay, how else can you help the people? And I said, sir, if ever I win the election, could you allow me to have only this teaching job? But of course, without sacrificing the quality and the time that I could spend here in USTN. And he said, okay, we're going to arrange your schedule and that you can serve your people. And so every now and then, since then, from Tuesday to Friday, I'm right here in UST. So 4 days. I go home to Laguna Friday night, and then I'm with my people, with my constituents, from Saturday to Monday. We call this a legislative session every Monday. So according to the Constitution, I have to be there every Monday. So, and that's what I do. Until now that I'm a vice mayor, UST is just so good that I understand my advocacy of helping the people. That's why I juggle two things at the same time. Public service in FAMI with a very good schedule, and teaching or professional job in UST with a very good schedule.
Yes. And sir, you're doing a really great job, because you're doing a very excellent job in both, like teaching and also serving the public. Yeah. And now, sir, can you tell us the things that you do, like as a teacher? What are the things that you incorporate in your public service? Like, as a teacher, of course, you also handle students, and in the province, in Laguna, you handle the people, the community. What are the things that you do, like, to help them both?
Right. I think one good thing that is similar to teaching and to public service is human relations, rapport, interpersonal communication to people, and being a teacher, and you're able to, you know, communicate with young people, and that's what I also do to my people. I always have this ready smile for people. I'm a believer of Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, that every smile can lighten up the spirit of people. I smile to my students, I smile to my kababayan as a way of welcoming them, that they are welcome to me. So, and you know, everything is just so light, and I help in as much as I could to my constituents, and also to my students. So there lies the similarity between the two.
Yes. Okay, sir, thank you. As we all know, sir, the election here in UST for the CSE officers and the officers for the different faculty and colleges has just ended. And what advice can you give to the newly elected officers on how they can balance their studies and also serving the Thimasian community?
Okay, one, congratulations to the winners of the newly elected officers in different colleges and faculties. I would say that number one that a leader should possess is honesty. Honesty, sincerity, and of course, love. Because when you have the three, you can just be, you know, a wonderful, super powerful leader because of love. You can always think of the beautiful projects that you would like this student body, or, you know, the students to experience. Like a student leader should always be watching a lot of news programs, reading a lot, and always reaching out to students to know their problems. With love, they can always be, in the hearts and the shoes of other students. And with love, they can always be honest and be sincere in what they do. I'm like that as a public servant. I have so much love. And therefore, people are always thinking that maybe Sir Valois is already very tired. But they don't see that in me. I always think of love. I always think of, of Jesus in each and every one. That whenever I always think of Jesus to people, if this is Jesus, then I will always do my best, And the students here in UST, our students here are very intelligent, but intelligence is not enough. Yes. Someone should have love. Someone should be sincere of what they do. Winning an election doesn't stop there. It's all about serving the students. So get their problems, get their concerns, get their issues, go back to the drawing board, ask, and don't be autocratic. Be, democratic, exercise that great leadership, and they will feel, They will feel, whenever, people feel that you are so sincere and that you have love, people will just simply follow. Yeah. People will have the ability to speak to you and tell you what they need, what they want. And that a leader should, number one, have love. Love and, of course, intelligence and having that good sense of leadership.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure that the Timashans who are watching right now are very inspired, just like me. And I hope that the newly elected officers can watch our episode of Yellow Pages today so that they can take notes from Sir Valois. And that ends our episode for today. Thank you so much, Sir Valois, for giving us your time here in Yellow Pages and for giving us life lessons that we will surely carry to push ourselves more towards our dreams. Thank you, sir. I hope you had a great time.
You're welcome, but also thank you to Yellow Pages. Thank you to UST for allowing me to do, the love that to do things that I love to do, to teach here in the university and also to serve my people. Thank you, UST. The reason why I got my story in MMK, because I love UST. Thank you so much to all the colleges where I taught, to the deans, to my co-teachers, to my students. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you so much again, sir. Indeed, love should be the center of everything. Right. In doing things with love, we enjoy more than what we do and strive for, and possibilities are endless. And that's it. I hope you guys had a good time with us today. Join us for another entertaining episode of Yellow Pages next month. And also, don't forget to like and follow EdTech Digital Broadcast Unit's social media accounts shown on screen to keep up with the latest updates. Once again, this is Kim Buni and this has been Yellow Pages. Have a nice day!
By the initiative of Manila's Archbishop 4 centuries ago, the University of Santo Tomas was established. With its prestige and legacy, the university has been recognized by a king and 2 popes. Gearing towards its 500 years of existence, the university continues to prove its regality and prominence in the whole world. It remains to be a honing ground of saints, heroes, and successful professionals in the country. UST offers various programs including secondary education. This is the University of Santo Tomas.
Ang isa pong Thomasian High School student ay flexible. We learn from the best mentors. They teach us the foundations of research to prepare us for college. We are competent because UST High provides the best facilities that they can offer. Siyempre, dito sa UST High School, we also know how to have fun while learning. At ngayong malapit na akong mag-senior high, I think I can do better. Because UST High helped me realize and develop the capabilities and skills that I'm good at. Sabi ng mga teachers ko, bibigyan kami ng opportunity para makapili ng mga academic strands para alam namin kung saan kami pupunta sa college.
UST offers 6 academic strands, namely Liberal Arts, Education, and Social Sciences strand, Accountancy, Business, Management strand, Music and Arts strand, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics strand, Health Allied strand, and Physical Education and Sports strand.
The moment I entered the gates of UST, I knew I made the right choice. Kasi sobrang friendly and warm ng environment. Yung para bang sinasabing, you are home. To be honest, nakatulong nga sa akin to sa pag-adjust ko from high school to college.
Yung mga professors, sobrang approachable. And they make your subjects more interesting for us. Yung mga discussions namin, sobrang lively and didactic. Yun yung reason kaya napaka-lively and sobrang saya na aming class.
UST also gives us the opportunity to grow by training us to do well on research, and provides us with a lot of local and international exposure trips in order for us to be globally competitive.